more can I say?
Top Billin.
Yo, Top Billin to ya. All right, y'all, back by popular demand, which is crazy, right? When I do the Giants content, you guys aren't sharing and making it really pop off there, man, so we can really get it down here, man, get a whole bunch of Giants fans and talk New York Giants football. But when it goes away, you guys are like, come on, Murph, I want to know what you think about the Giants. I got to know what you think about the Giants draft. Well, here it is, man. Absolutely love the Giants draft. They are seriously on a come up. Them and the Washington football team are on a serious collision course. I think of all the come up teams, man, these guys are both vying for that number one spot to me in the NFL as far as defense goes. 6 in one hand, half a dozen on the other. To me, it just depends. And I think the draft didn't really sway it one way or the other. It's still kind of hard for me to think about it. To me, the Washington football team has the better front seven, right, which is tough to say, right? You got a guy like Big Leo Williams, man. That's tough to deal with. But, man, those guys with Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Matt Ioannidis, and Tim Settle, and then those two pillars on the post right there, Chase Young and freaking your man Montez Sweat. That's hard. But the Giants going to go out and get my man Azeez Ojulari. Now, listen to this. They got Azeez Ojulari, right? I'm going to do a film study right here, but it's not a film study that's going to be fresh. This is something that I actually did for the Miami Dolphins. So you'll be able to see that right there. I thought that he would be a great fit for Miami at the pick that they had. I felt like the Giants could go in a different direction. But I also said in the piece that I thought he would fit Miami and New York the best. So imagine that, right? Same scheme that Miami and New York both runs, right? Of course, you got Coach Flores there and then Coach Graham for the New York Giants. And, of course, he was the original defensive coordinator under Flores in Miami. So him being on the New York Giants, but them able to get him with the second-round pick? How, Sway? How did they do that? Who would have thought, right? You went up getting somebody, right? You get a Kadarius Toney, which I will do a film study on, right? Everybody wants to know what I think about Kadarius Toney. It's funny. All you got to do is go back and watch all the Florida content that I have. I covered Florida the entire season last year, and that was his breakout season. The guy is a phenomenal talent. I'm talking about run after the catch, some of the best shit I've ever seen. And he does it physical. He can do it. He can muscle relax you to sleep. He has excellent hands. He runs great quick and mid-range game routes, and he can take it vert. Great pickup right there. I don't know where he fits at because you got Darius Slayton, one of the best deep threats in America. Now you have Kenny Golladay, a legitimate number one receiver for your man Lieutenant Dan because he has legs. So imagine that. Is it Sterling Shepard? Him rotating in with Sterling Shepard? Can you do 10 personnel, right? You don't want to do that. You still got Evan Ingram on the field, so you got to play the tight end as well. So it's just a huge rotation of guys that are capable, and Lieutenant Dan has him some weapons, and I expect him to ball out, no doubt about that. But that defense, it's funny though, right? So the last time you guys saw me, I actually thought that Patrick Surtain could be the move for the New York Giants. Obviously, he didn't make it that far for that to be the choice. But people were saying, oh, we don't need another cornerback. You don't need another cornerback. Then they go and get Aaron Robinson from UCF, who I have a ton of insight to as well, as my big bro, one of my best friends, Kenyatta Watson. That's his little cousin. So him out in UCF, been talking about him for a long time. That kid can go. But, man, what does that do for Darnay Holmes and the 50 other cornerbacks on the team? But he obviously needed another receiver. Another cornerback. Didn't another receiver as well, but another cornerback because Adoree Jackson. I like Adoree Jackson's talent, but I don't think he's the goods, and he could definitely falter. Hopefully that's not the case, but you have an excellent backup plan because Aaron Robinson can definitely be an outside cornerback, an exterior cornerback, and he can do it like you wouldn't believe. But Azeez Ojulari, man, on the edge, he still got Lorenzo Carter on the team. O'Shane Zimenez, right? Come on, man. Odenigbo you went and got. You got some guys who can go and get after it right now. The second level, of course, man, your boy Blake Martinez, Blakey Ma, and Tate Crowder and these boys. Like, come on. And we know about the secondary, so that's the difference right there. I think New York's secondary is better than Washington's secondary, and but their front seven. So very even right there. I can't wait to see those two teams play, but I cannot wait to see Azeez Ojulari in a New York Giants uniform. You talk about a guy that can play from a 2-point stance, right? If you want to be based out of a 3-4. But, man, you can set him out wide, of course, wide 9, and he can get after it as well. He's just a very explosive pass rusher, and he's just scratching the surface of what he could be. Only really 2 years of experience at Georgia. He's a young kid, and he had these guys, right? They had a crazy rotation. I think I said it in the piece, man. He was good for 12 sacks if they would just play him like you would play Myles Garrett or Chase Young in college where they just play all the snaps. He could have easily have gotten that. But he's in a crazy, severe rotation with about 6 other 5-star prospects, and that's just the way the ball bounces. But that is a great pickup. Catch me on another time, right? Maybe sometime soon, maybe later this week or on the weekend for some Kadarius Toney, and we could do it like that, man. But without further ado, man, let's go ahead and check out this repackaged film study for your man Azeez Ojulari. Congratulations, New York Giants. You are on a serious come-up, all right? You got that G-Unit defense getting it in for your boy Patrick Graham. Let's go. Even though these are team-specific draft profiles, it doesn't matter. This is general, right? It can translate to any team that he goes to, so keep that in mind. There are a number of teams that I could see him playing at, one being the New York Giants as well. So him getting past the Giants to the Dolphins could be an issue. He would fit both schemes. Patrick Graham, obviously, formerly with the Dolphins, and then Coach Flores running very similar systems there. So here we go, my man right here, coming off that 2-point stance that you've seen from your boys like Kyle Van Noy, and whenever they had Shaq Lawson out there, Andrew Van Ginkel, all these guys having to play out of a 2-point stance, meaning you're playing in a triple threat stance. You're going to play in reverse. You can play laterally, or you can move forward to the passer. So that's just what it is right here. But check this move out. Look at the first step. You talk about bendability. Man, that's going against my boy, too, Wanya Morris. Wanya Morris is my man, 50 grand. Know him very well. Azeez Ojulari was doing him in. One more time, full speed. Come on, man. You don't see Scripples could get that low and bend like that. Bendability from a guy who's already lower than you. That's why you get these guys who are 6'2", 6'3". All right? Coming off right here. Giving him half a man. There's no tell in this right here. Wanye's doing a pretty good job at the onset here, but you want to be first. He does a great job. Look at the feeler here of being able to sense exactly where Wanye's hand is going to be and immediately fight that. Wanye can't get it's 1-on-1 right there, and that's Wanye's outside hand, but he's going past that. So he's not going to be able to do anything with that. Can't recover. Wanye's He's trying to pull the ripcord, right? He abandoned technique. He had to pull the ripcord. But look at my man. Hit them knees, baby. Them knees scrubbing the ground like an exotic dancer. Right below that. Puts his hand down. Turbo and Ozo with the break dancing. Jared Garantano. And he forces a fumble. He's great at forcing a fumble when he gets to the signal caller, man. Great display of talent right there. Here you go again, this time coming out of a 4-point stance. So imagine that, right? Of course, in your sub packages, Georgia like to go to their even front. So you put a man's hand in the ground, let him rush from a 6 technique or 7 technique. But the Dolphins, they do it a little bit differently. Sometimes in their sub packages, they'll go to the even front. Sometimes they go to an even front and still have the guys in a motorcycle stance. So you'll have just a couple of inside players like a Raekwon Davis or Christian Wilkins on the inside with your edge players still in the 2-point stance. I love it when they do that. But he got him with the same thing here again. And Wanye had the hold. Look at that. It's just something that's tough to deal with out in that amount of space, man. You got a guy that's coming off that damn explosive here. Wanye can barely get into his kick step phase before it's time for the moment of truth there. And look at that. Just simply being able to dip and rip, get around the edge. Wanye had to hook him. This would have been a sack for sure. Back outside here on the left side of the formation, the defensive side of the formation here. And this time you'll see him squeeze down the line of scrimmage working against the tackle who actually does a very good job. But he continues to work and look. Not just finesse. There's a power element to his game, a ferocity element to his game. Broke through, still got the sack right there on Joey Gatewood. Look at him right here. Traveling, working the friction here. Straight friction. Almost like you're two-gapping, waiting for Joey Gatewood to do something. Look at that. almost gets washed away like rain, recovers there, starts battling. Look at this, dips his weight below the tackle and makes the tackle. That's that ferocity. He plays with a almost like his hair is on fire, man. I remember what I said about in an odd front scheme, playing in reverse, playing laterally, having flat duty, and you can see right here, having to guard Dameon Pierce in the flat, run him down out in space. That's a lot of space to play in, man. Right? You're not just moving to the quarterback here. And this is something that, of course, would translate right over to the Miami Dolphins, who do some similar things as well. Corralling the back out of the backfield. Got him. Here we go again. Still a monster against the run, man. He's a two-way player. Look at that. Oh, squeeze down the line of scrimmage and make him pay for it. Look at that. Soften the man's stool. Trying to block him with a tight end. No, thank you. Stacks and sheds him, squeezes down the line of scrimmage. That's what you call being an edge defender. That's what I like about Azeez Ojulari. He's not an edge rusher. I hate when I hear that term edge rusher. There's more to being on the edge than just rushing the quarterback, and he shows this. He's very good against the run. He loves playing against the run, and it shows in his production. At damn near a 9 technique right here, you can see those long arms come into play. Look at that, stacking and shedding Stone Forsythe there. Stone feet Forsythe, big, long 6'6", 6'7" guy. Gets those long arms there, being first. Look at that. Being first, assessing the situation, almost like he's two-gapping there. Really continue to work and battle against that and control his edge. Edge defender. Gets the tackle, gets by with a little help from his friend Devontae Wyatt right there. One more again right here with a patented rip and dip. My man fighting the hands there. You got your man was stuck in the driveway trying to mess with. Come on, you can't be stuck in the driveway. He's stuck in the driveway. He don't know what to do right here. Tries to fight the hands right there. Ain't happening. You need to, if the offensive lineman needs to get his hands on Azeez Ojulari, it's almost like he's the defender. Azeez chops them shits like the slap chop, whatever that shit was back in the day. Slap chopped them hands, ran the arc on them, forced a fumble. You know what he does there. One thing that he has to do, though, he has to get a broader moveset. He has to take remember, he's young in his development. Once he starts chaining together moves, man, you know who he's going to be like? My boy right here, Yannick Ngakoue, came out of Maryland, very similarly sized. Look at that. Rip and dip, just like Azeez Ojulari right there, or vice versa, of course. Yannick Ngakoue is that dude. Oh, I was actually hoping the Dolphins could land him, but check this out. Being able to chain together moves. You already know you have to worry about that rip and dip. Chain together something else with it. Check this out. Oh, set him up with the outside approach, spent it back to the inside on some Dwight Freeney shit. I love it. Looking like you're going to run the arc. Let him, look at that. My man's too far over his skis. He ain't want it. Too far over his skis. Spin cycled him. Get the Gardner Minshew. As you can see, though, that particular move is a great base to have because it just looks unstoppable when he was able to get to it. And that's what coming in off a rotation. So imagine if a guy has to deal with that snap in and snap out, that's when you start to chain together moves right there. If you feel you always have to hit a home run every time you come in, or, you know what I mean, you have to make the most of your opportunity because you may go out for a series or two, which I've seen Georgia do with him, then you probably won't generate that much of a skill set as far as the variation of rushes there. So,
what more can I say?
Top Billin.